right, let's start our meeting tonight. Welcome, everyone. Looks like we have a small group tonight, but that's okay.
Is the recording?
Huh?
Is the recording going?
It is, yes. Um, so I guess we'll start out with some board reports. I don't see anybody here from visual tonight.
They're exhausting.
Everyone's out of town. So can't really think of anything to report from them. So let's have a report from
I will say on behalf of Visual, go see the Wild show if you have not already. I wasn't able to be at the opening, but I had a chance to go see it, and it is spectacular.
Where is this?
At Sabine Street Studios.
Ah, okay.
All right, Denise, let's hear from you.
So the anthology submissions have closed. I'm reviewing them. I've gotten a listing of what we have received. The numbers are down from last year, but still solid. We had 3 fiction entries, 1 flash fiction, 3 flash nonfiction, 6 nonfiction, 34 poetry, 8 short story, which was our new category. So we're rocking on short stories, and 16 title entries. So we're about $100 or so less than what we had before, but still getting a decent number. Melody would have the most accurate information, but it's like $600-700 came in so far with that, all of that. And I think we got at least 1 new member during that period who had submitted as a new member. So I will be processing those in the next couple of weekends and getting those out to the judges. So the judging can start. The judging will continue through the end of October, and then we'll roll out from there. We had 10 art submissions for the cover art, and there's some really nice ones. So I'm looking forward to putting together the voting for the members on that later in the year. Our art retreat, art retreat registration is closed. We have 14 folks going. That includes both the facilitators and the general attendees. So we're getting excited for that. Emails will be coming out soon to let people know about everything. We were able to take advantage of the extra space they had. Some people went to double occupancy rooms, and some people stayed triple occupancy, and the numbers worked out perfectly. So that was great. What else? Haunted Holidays readings is set for November 13th. The sign up genius is available for signing up to read, and it's out on the WiVLA calendar. Just go to the November 13th to the event and you'll find the registration there. Thanks for Melody and everyone who helped make that happen. I think that's about it.
Did you say there were 16 title entries?
Yes,
For
because there's 3 per person, up to 3 per person.
That seems like a lot. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good number.
it's good.
Variation on a theme, our power theme. So I'll be sending out voting like I said, later in the year for the cover art, but also later in the year we'll get the title competition going as well.
Okay. Thank you, Denise. And Deborah is here. We'll see if she has anything to share with us.
All I have to share is that it was a very successful event. Thank you, everybody who participated and helped. And it's still up. So take your friends and family by Sabine Street Studio, and the collaboration is amazing.
It definitely is. All right.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Melissa, what's going on with programs?
Thank you. We have for programs, we have this Saturday, the 22nd. Yes, this Saturday, we have a ekphrastic poetry workshop led by Catherine McDaniel. Registration is still open. So join the fun, and a very convenient way to see the gorgeous wild exhibit. Also coming up is a book club meeting the following Saturday on the 29th. So you're always welcome to join in on the fun. And then a handful of other in-person events sprinkled in the fall. And so the calendar is starting to pop up with those things as well. So per usual, I direct everyone to the WiVLA calendar to take it all in. And if you have any questions or you have any recommendations, I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I am I'm actually listening to Catherine Sanders' book, The Shippers, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. That's going to be our presentation in September, right?
It's a
That's our
special book club in September, not a members meeting, but a Sunday afternoon event on the calendar.
okay. Let's see. Rebecca, do you have anything to say?
So the monthly newsletter item submission deadline it's always the 20th. This week Friday's the 21st. So like if you get it to me before Friday evening, you'll still be in plenty of time. And that's it from newsletter.
And that's tomorrow. No, it's day after tomorrow.
Please. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. The 20th is 2 days. And I can take.
Thank you, Rebecca. Jamie, anything you want to say tonight?
Not really. However, if anybody has any extra pictures they took of the reception and they want to send that to me, I'll put my email in the chat because I'll be posting pictures from the event in the next couple of days.
Okay, good. As you guys may know, we are looking for a website designer for a new website for WiVLA. We have sent out an email that has an RFP twice now. Please read that, and if you're interested, please let us know of your interest. We want to get that ball rolling as soon as we can. We're excited about the possibilities of having a new website. So take a look at that if you're interested. Let us know. Okay, I think that's everything. Kathy, can you think of anything we've missed? Nope. Okay.
I think you covered it. That's great.
All right. Good deal.
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead with our program then. Melissa, you want to introduce our speaker?
Well, it would be my pleasure. Thank you, Susan. And thank you, Fran, for being with us tonight. Fran Sanders is the director of the REELPoetry Festival, which is an international poetry film festival that is online and in person, based here in Houston. They showcase short films and videos infused with poetry or having a strong poetic sensibility. I know that this year's festival will be happening in September, I think 18th through the 25th.
Right.
And I know Margot has a piece in the festival, so certainly WiVLA representation. I had a chance to meet with Fran and get a preview of some of the videos, and they are astounding. And so I will happily turn things over to Fran with the reminder that when it is time to share your screen, just be sure to click those two boxes to the right and we'll be good to go. All yours, Fran.
Thank you so very much. So, I thought I thought I would start by just saying a little bit about my own very unlikely journey to becoming a director of a poetry film festival. Um, and so I'll begin by saying that poetry has always been part of my life. When I was a little kid, my mother used to read nursery rhymes to me and books. And I think the first really magical encounter that I had with poetry came from reading Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. And I absolutely fell in love with the nonsense poetry. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves and the mome raths outgrave. I just love that to this day. And my mother was born in 1906. And so, as was the common thing to do in those days, she memorized poems. And so she would recite to me. She'd recite Wordsworth and Coleridge, and I mean the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner from one end to the other. And I have never had a mind for memorization, but those poems and her voice stay in my head. So, one of the things that have always attracted me is creativity and language and the extraordinariness of the ordinary. And poetry really addresses all of those things. So, as I was growing up and was a kid who took home as many books as the library allowed me to take, I always had some kind of poetry book mixed in. I mean, I read the usual adventure stories, I think that most kids read who were my age, but there was always something poetic. And my one of my very fondest memories is we had a weeping willow tree in our front yard, and that was my reading tree. I used to climb up it and be in this canopy of leaves that were cascading down and read there. So when and I guess, I always thought of poetry as being just something really, really enjoyable to explore. And so when I came to Houston, um, I started down a path of, I guess, what I'd call audiencing. I was really interested in all of the arts, and I became an audience for everything that I could see. I spent a number of years working with visual artists and did some international exhibitions. And I spent some years working with dance festivals, with a music competition. And all the while, poetry was still running in the background. So I started off by reading poetry on the air for Taping for the Blind, as it was called then. I think it's called Sight into Sound now. And I did that for about 16 years until I got totally fed up listening to my own voice and invited poets from Houston and visiting poets from U of H or Rice to come and take over. So I did that for quite some number of years. And then just recognizing how many wonderful poets there were in Houston. In 2010, I guess, 2011, I founded Public Poetry, which I worked. Oh, how do I get that thing away? Sorry, it's I, as Alyssa can tell you, I am one of the most technologically backward people around. So, and were it not for her, this would never be happening. So thank you so much. And I really have to say, since apparently I neglected to say it at the beginning, thank you so much to all of you for being here. I'm it's a joy for me to do this. So anyway, with public poetry, I kind of got to explore all kinds of things with poetry. I love the idea of collaboration and collaborative projects. And so I started mixing poetry with music. I started mixing poetry with art. And we actually did a couple of programs at the MFA and at the Menil. And in 2018, I discovered poetry film. I had no idea it existed. And so when I finally left public poetry, I kind of took real poetry with me so that I could really focus on that. I mean, I can't imagine not having some kind of project to work on. So this was the one that pulled at me. So this year has been kind of a complete relaunch of real poetry. It was with public poetry up until last year. And so this year we went through all the excitement of building a new website from scratch and basically doing all the fundamentals and groundwork and basics for it. So with this long rambling introduction, what I'd like to do is start off by actually going on to our website, which is realpoetry.org, and showing you a trailer of kind of compilation of some of the video poetry films that we have shown in the past year or two. And then I'm going to talk more about which way the wind blows. So hang on a second while I see if I can actually do this. Okay.
There you go.
Except, where is it?
Give it a second. It takes a moment to travel through space and time. And here we are looking at the real poetry.
Okay, guys. So
all I have ever wanted was to forge the English language into a spear and drive it into my heart.
There, we are still.
Making an indeterminate gamble.
So that is kind of a kind of a sampler for you of what it is we do. And one of the things that I think is really magical about video poetry is that it's one of those situations where the the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So you can take the poem, you can take the film, you can take the music, and what comes out of that is something that is its own art form in its own right. And I think that there's actually a kind of a growing movement to establish video poetry as its own art form, more in Europe than in this country, and Latin America as well. But it really has its own craft, its own vocabulary, and its own power. So I would like to start. One of the things that I love is that it can express so many different, diverse emotions and experiences. And I'm going to show you some here just so that you can get a sense of how and what video poetry is all about. And so I will just say a little bit about the film that you're going to watch. It's from an Australian poet and filmmaker. He comes from a science background, and Physalia takes the perspective of how water creatures see us and what it would be like if they can speak. There are a lot of environmental poetry films that we show. So this is one of many. Okay. Play. Why did it do this?
That'll disappear, Fran, don't worry.
Stars tell us to Lansburg. Stars tell us to Lansburg. For hooligans in a row lane, a locacy to Serponfus. Host Taylor in Lansburg.
So this particular film almost feels in places like a documentary, and in other places it kind of leaps out of that into a really imaginative perspective. And there are so many different ways that people highlight the environment. And I'm actually going to show you a very, very different film, if I can get back to it. Oh, let me see if I can bring this up for us. This is a film called Straveg, which is a Scottish word, and it means to wander or roam.
Struggling over a tussocky terrain, somewhat aimlessly viking about, making an indeterminate gamble.
Okay. So now, so that particular film, I think, was a really clever way of expressing the whole notion of straveg, of wandering through an environment. And that film was a little bit over, just a tiny bit over 1 minute. So the films that we show at the festival tend to be 6 minutes or less. And that's one of the remarkable things about video poetry and poetry films, is that it feels like you can really condense and compress a whole narrative or a whole story or any kind of feeling or emotion that you want to play with in a very short period of time, because it seems as though when you're watching poetry films, at least when I'm watching them, it seems as though they are absolutely swelling out and filling up. so that you get a sense. Oh, um, hello, Rebecca. I think I can get that to you at some point when I know what I'm doing a bit more.
We'll get it for you, Rebecca. Don't worry.
Oh, good. It's called Physalia. And it's by an astonishing filmmaker, poet, scientist, and he also does all the music, and he has run festivals in Australia. So one part of our festival each year has been devoted to an open call. Um, and we invite people from all over the world to submit. This year, we got submissions from 24 different countries. And then there's an international jury panel of 5 people who review the films, and that changes every year. Um, Except for me, I get to play each time, but I'm definitely outnumbered, so my opinions don't count for much. Um, and plus, I know absolutely squat about filmmaking. So I'm just starting to learn about that and the kinds of things that make for a good film from the poetry film from the film side of it. Um, so, um, in addition to the open submissions, we do several other things. We invite curators. We commission people to collaborate, poets and filmmakers to collaborate. We also every year have shown, well, actually, more or less served as a platform for deaf people and hard of hearing. So we have 2 people. Um, I I was shown a video poem of a deaf artist, and I was so amazed by it, and amazed by how much can be said without any words at all, that I absolutely reached out to her and said, "Hey, can you bring more people who are doing anything like this?" And she did. And we have a whole section about the history of ASL. There was a wonderful panel discussion, the history and the future of ASL. We've got a number of poets and performers who use ASL just showcased individually. And one of the things that's really interesting about that, these guys travel internationally a lot. And sign language is different from in every country. One of the short clips that you saw was a compilation from a Irish school for the deaf with a little girl who was going like that to her cheek. That was from a deaf school. And it's just one of many ways to explore the boundaries of poetry and how it can be presented and how it can convey so very, very much in different ways. I am going to, I don't know that I'm any better at it now, but I'm going to attempt to
You're doing
share.
great, Fran.
What?
You're doing great.
Thank you so much. I don't think so, but here we go. Let's see if screen, come on, entire screen. Now for something quite remarkable and completely different.
challenge. Can I grow old? This throbbing, pulsing ecstasy, this I of I, this me of me. Can I grow old? The years have told this thing, that form, that flesh will change. All that is fair grow different, strange. You will grow old. This time's reply. You will grow old and cease to be. But I deny, exultantly, not I, not I. No fleshly bond can leash these strange, these unnamed fires, these surging thoughts, these dear desires they saw beyond. And this me, moves on towards some great sublime, and laughs at death and laughs at time, eternally.
Yeah, so that film is one that I'm very, very fond of. It almost feels like memoir, doesn't it? Um, and imagine spending all those years bedridden and writing poetry. Anyway, the film is called Challenge, and you can tell why. But what a lovely way to document a family member. And that's one of the things that poetry film can do. So now I'm going to show you something completely different. Okay, so then I can just scroll down and play this video.
A bird on a wire, another on the wing. Listen to the breeze, whisper your name. A fish in the river doesn't always go for the hook. I see your face in the clouds like it's etched in a book. We sang for our supper, we danced in the dark. We ran with the coyotes in Golden Gate Park. Barefoot on the beach, it was too cold to swim. Remember that cave where the water rushed in? Watch out for the con man, creeping quiet as a mouse, laughing at the bank as he steals your house. The mad king takes a pawn, the fake queen blows her nose. We all know this emperor ain't got no clothes. When politics is crime and both are big business, don't forget the inhumanity, don't give them forgiveness. Well, America, where you going when you're down on your knees? When the people in charge just wanna make you bleed. There's thunder in the valley after a long night of rain. I'm waiting at the station, will you be on my train? The lizard was hanging from the roadrunner's mouth. He paused in the shade before heading south. You know what they say, it's darkest before the dawn. I can tell you I'm ready for the lights to turn on. The wheel spins, the reaper gets the last dance. Comeuppance is coming, no one else stands a chance. Another on the wing. I listen to the breeze whisper your name.
So that was a particular favorite of Alyssa's when she was helping me to figure out what to do. And I love it as well. I mean, it just kind of shows you how very, very broad the vistas are and possibilities are with poetry films and videos. And I will say that quite a lot of the work that we show does have a political perspective. And in fact, what I'm thinking about doing next year is putting together an entire program, which is just a compilation of different political perspectives on the world and life and everything like that. So I think I've got maybe a couple of more films I can show you, and then we can talk a little bit more about what we've been seeing. Can you see it now?
Now we're cooking with gas.
All right, let's get all of these things to go away as much as possible. So this is probably the equivalent of found art. Yeah. So, Pam and Jack are filmmakers in Austin, and they sort of wandered around town finding all of this graffiti and writing, and very cleverly put it together made it into a poem. So, I mean, that's again a whole other approach and opportunity that you can express with video poetry. I'm going to try one more film and see if I can really manage this. I
You got this, Fran.
share button.
The mute is on the video.
Is the video muted, Fran?
As far as I know, it is. Let me see. Oh no, I've got the sound off.
Feminine as you
There we go.
Polar blue. A magnetic Penelope is a hurricane winged across the world in the chaos of cyanophilic flickering that quickens your suitors' hearts, minding them to perch on any shoe or hat or desert island moat, as long as it has that kick, that hue, that oh so longed for blue. Smarting at 17, a tangential truth at 50. In 6 months or much less you spanned a life, before you were fixed and pinned, a swallow-tailed datum of mountain colour, while in a synchronous fugue of 200 days' flight, a true swallow lived and slept only aloft, adrift without landfall, dipping and twisting a wayward odyssey from chilly northern squalls, dissolved in air, immersed by day and by night, condensed from supersaturated skies, turned, as you, on primaries born, to pure and elemental blue.
Ah, that's what that is. Yeah. So that's an example of a film that didn't make it into the festival. There you go. I had no idea I had it there, but now you can see something like what we reject. And, there are any number of films that play with typography, which I suppose to some extent that one did, but I don't think it was very successful, frankly. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to get one more in here because I saw there is one. We can watch this together because I haven't seen this before. Okay, it would probably help to put the sound on. So that was pretty remarkable. I mean, you quite entered a dystopian world there in 6 minutes. You were really enmeshed in that. So, yeah. And that's what a really good poetry film can do. And obviously there are lots of fairly sophisticated stuff going on with the video portion of it, but and there are people who've been at this for years, um, in their basements and backyards, and so they're pretty darn good at this. And I think it's really exciting to see. One of the things that we try to do each year with the festival is provide a real sampling of very different types of video poetry. So if you don't like one of them, you're bound to like the next one, and it won't take very long either. Um, and this year in particular, I'm really excited about several things. We finally have our official festival headquarters at Moxie downtown. And we're going to be having a reception there on the 18th, and I hope all of you will come. It is meant for ticket holders, but you're all invited, so please do come. And they have done wonderful things for us. There's $10 parking in the middle of downtown, which is almost unheard of. And you can actually take Metro, and the Main Street Metro stops right in front of Moxie at Preston Street Station. So if you take public transport, which I highly recommend, that's one way you can get there. We are selling tickets for the festival now, and what I'm really excited about is that we are going to be donating a portion of all ticket sales to Poems Not Bombs in Ukraine. And this is an umbrella organization that sponsors a competition for kids. It also lets them, these are all kids who are internally displaced in Ukraine. So they may no longer have a home at all. I mean, they're dealing with daily bombings and all of the trauma that entails. And you'll be seeing some of the kids reading their own work, and there will be subtitles, but I'm really excited about that. And they're doing amazing job, amazing work there. And it's such a wonderful thing to do. And I was thinking about the fact that poetry could be such a wonderful thing in any area of conflict, in any conflict zone. And God knows we've got enough of them in this world right now. So I wish we could do more. And so I'm very, very happy that we will be doing this. What else can I tell you about the festival? You can find out lots about everything that we're doing on our website, which is Reel Poetry, spelled REEL, like a film reel, poetry.org. And as I said, tickets are on sale. You can buy tickets for individual days, or you can buy tickets for individual programs, or you can buy an all access pass, and it's all on our website on the little ticket link. And the live festival will be at Match in one of their really nice theaters. And then we also do an online portion because a number of people are all over the world and obviously not coming to Houston for 2 days. Especially in this climate, there are whole nations that are forbidden to enter this country. So, I'm not expecting a whole lot of international travelers, although we are featuring in person filmmakers and directors from Spain, from Holland, Netherlands, from India. I think we're having a person come from there, assuming they all get through customs, and from Greece. But they've all got visas, so hopefully they won't be turned away. Yeah. And um, the program that we do so these people will be live at Match. They'll be talking about their films. And the online portion starts right after that, ends on the 21st and runs through the 25th. We do something called Real Cafe, where it's a Zoom in real time, where people can talk about the films they've seen that day. And they can meet some of the curators and the judges and all of that. So it's a way to really connect with everyone, and part of hopefully building a community. There are two programs that are exclusively focused on Texas and Houston, and they appear under the banner of Texas Two-Step. So those are viewable online. And Turkish films and Southeast Asian diaspora films, and all of the juried submissions that were accepted into the festival are also online. And that streams until November 15th. So if you can't see it live, you can pull it up anytime between when it airs and November 15th. So I hope all of you will take the opportunity to see more of the little bit that I've shown you. And we are also, if any of you are so inclined, looking for volunteers to pick people up from the airport. And if you do, we will give you an all-access $75 pass for your troubles. So, and you'll get to meet some wonderful filmmakers and poets and directors. So it would be great if any of you would like to volunteer. Please do go to our website and let us know about that. And I have absolutely no idea how long this has been going on. So
You're right at an hour, Fran. And so if we want to take the spotlight off and open it up to questions, we can certainly do that.
that would be great.
All right, now hopefully you can see everybody else in the Zoom room. So anyone with questions, feel free to chime in.
And so I would actually love for Margaret, Margot rather, because she's been doing this for I don't know how many years, Margot, and I think you've been in the festival a lot of times. And I'd love if she could talk about maybe her exploration of video poetry and how that's developed for her.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be in the festival. I think I was in maybe the first one, actually, because I was just getting into filmmaking, and I was submitting to different festivals as short videos. But it's the field has really expanded. There are so many places to submit video poems. Some people call them cine poems, but it's a lot. They're a lot of fun to make, and it's fun to be part of a festival. And I really enjoy the what's it called? The cafe.
The Real Cafe.
The Real Cafe. Those are fascinating because there are some top-notch poets and filmmakers from England who always have interesting things to share. So that part is really wonderful.
Well, and speaking of which, one of them actually did a workshop for us on video poetry. She's published a book, which I'm going to spin around and see if I can find on my shelves. Let me see where I may have put it. These are all poetry books, and theoretically, they have some organization behind them, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. So I'm very sorry about that. But she will be teaching another class. And so if you are interested after the festival, we'll be sending out information online about the next workshop that we're doing. And after that, there's going to be an amazing workshop on video poetry memoir. So
wonderful.
Yeah. So we are bringing more people in for this, and I'm really excited that we're doing that. Yeah. So yeah, questions?
I have a question. I think I was expecting that it would be poems, actual written poems with some kind of background, but some of the stuff you showed us really didn't have words. So
No.
What is the poetry? Is the film or the poetry are words? How does that work?
Actually, what our guidelines say is that it can be either infused with poetry, with poetic words, or it can have a poetic sensibility.
Okay.
And so you are seeing a lot of films there that have that poetic sensibility, or that work with language in very unconventional ways.
And then a second question about the Portuguese man of war.
Physalia.
The words, what he said, what would they say to us? Were those English words printed backwards, like mirror writing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought I was seeing some real words in reverse, but it was kind of fast. So,
Yeah.
okay. Great. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
I'm very glad to hear that. And I hope you guys will come to the festival. And definitely come to the reception. It's open to all of you to attend. So you can find all the details on that on our website. And it has been a pleasure to do this with you. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Fran. You did it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, at 4 o'clock in the morning last night, I didn't know if I could. So
You did great.
Bless you.
anyway, it was really lovely. And I hope you all enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it tremendously. I'm just so happy to know about this art form and having a theatrical background myself, it really speaks to me. I think I'm very interested in the classes, actually.
Oh, good. Good.
So all of those are on your website?
The classes aren't up yet. We're just totally focused on the festival right now. But we do have a newsletter, and if you're not on our newsletter, you can go down to either the contact page in the homepage and just let us know you'd like to have the newsletter. Give us your email and um, you'll get that. And it's just, we don't bombard you with it, but, or at least not too much, I don't think. But we do let you know what's coming up, and it's a really nice newsletter as well.
All right, good to
And
know.
I've always missed like the launch of it, the in person, but I have always, at least for the last couple 3 or 4 years, you can buy it where you can watch it at your leisure, over a certain period of time. Are you still offering that option?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It will stream online for 2 months. So if you buy a ticket for the online portion, then which is a princely sum, I think, of $25, then you can watch it whatever you like over a 2-month period. Watch it again. Whatever you want to do, show it to some of your friends. And yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yes,
found that to be thankfully an opportunity for me to still see the submittals.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean, we
great
all
event.
have so many things going on and so much pressure on our time that it's nice to be able to find a moment when you can just kick back and enjoy it. And and that's one of the things I think that these poetry films do. They kind of they put you in another place and time in a very short period of time. Um, and there is so much creative energy that goes into doing this. And I hope all of you will think about possibly exploring it more yourselves.
I was very intrigued by the sound. Um, is there anything extra that you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, actually, we had a program that was part of last year's program that 2025 program, yeah, that focused on soundscapes. So, because sound definitely augments whatever's going on there, and it can make or break a film. Um, I mean, if it's got a really tacky soundtrack that's not really paying much attention to what's going on, otherwise, it can really destroy the atmosphere. I think the ones that we got to see today really did have wonderful soundscapes to them. And I guess coming back to my love of nonsense rhymes, I mean, there's, I suppose, a 21st century equivalent in that mirror language to nonsense poetry. So, yeah. Anybody else want to say anything, share anything, do anything?
I'm struck by the variety. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised by that, but film poetry is a new discipline to me, and between working with you yesterday for today and what was shown today, I continue to be amazed by the diversity of what you can do within any particular discipline. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, once again, thank all of you. Anybody else want to say something or make a comment? Well, I hope to see you all at the reception at Moxie, and I hope to see you at the festival or online at Real Poetry. It's at the Real Cafe. It's a Zoom and it's in real time, so we can actually have a conversation. And it's a great way. We have some amazing discussions. I mean, basically centered around the films that we show that day. And the filmmakers, a lot of the filmmakers are there, a lot of the poets are there, and you get to hear what they have to say about their own work, and you can say whatever you like to them. So it's a really nice and friendly forum for folks from all over the world. So I guess what we say goodbye at this point.
We have some announcements from our member.
Excuse me.
Fran, that was excellent. I just love the variety. I love the ones that you chose to show to us. It really gave us a sense of what real poetry is all about. Because truthfully, I didn't have a clue when you started. I'm like, what is this?
Right.
So I'm so happy to know about it. I really am.
Great. I'm so pleased.
And don't worry about the technology either.
Some days are worse than others. This was definitely not one of my good days.
I got you on that. So, all right. We'll open the floor for any announcements that anyone has about things coming up. Kathy?
I'm just going to invite everyone, if you would like, next Thursday at 7 p.m. It's the 27th. I am doing a Zoom launch for my new chapbook. And if you want to come, just send me an email, kathy.crawford@gmail.com, and I'll give you the instructions. Also, I have it on the WiVLA calendar, so I hope you can join.
All right. Anyone else?
There's several raised
Jamie
hands.
and Margot have their hands up.
Okay. Yeah.
Go
Jamie.
ahead, Jamie.
Okay. So earlier, the past 12 months, I had a couple pieces in a show at the Sanctuary for the Arts in Webster Presbyterian, and they invited me back for one of the pieces for their 10th anniversary night.
All right. Congratulations. When will that be again?
So their 10th anniversary night celebration is September 11th, the day of our retreat.
Oh,
so
all right. Margot.
Okay, I just posted something in the chat. Sandy Stromberg is having a launch of her new book at Basket Books and Art on September 20th, Sunday at 10 a.m. It's called Books, Bagels, and Books. So she's giving everyone who attends a $5 discount on any books that you buy that day. And then my film in the Real Film Festival will screen, I believe, that afternoon at Match. So I'll be putting something in the calendar for that.
Hey, very good. Melody.
Yeah, so Liz Plaster's not here, but she announced that her piece, Imagined Ancestors, was juried into the exhibition at Gazelle School of Art. Patrick Palmer was the juror for that. I got a piece in the show at Winter Street, and now I can't remember what it's called. Maybe Deborah can.
I can't remember what it's called either.
Something about
But we're
Houston.
both in it. It's something about Houston.
Yeah, and